In this video, we're going to have a look at how to output custom field values that you've added maybe to your taxonomy or category pages when using Breakdance website builder. So here we have category 1, and you'll see that I have some additional text and I have an image. If I then go to category number 2, you'll see that I have something similar. And when I go to category 3, you'll see that we don't have any information and nothing's rendered. So here we have the post output, but we don't have the custom fields being rendered in Breakdance. So to show you how that all fits together, here inside Breakdance, I have two columns set up. In the left-hand column, I'm adding the additional text, and in the right-hand column, I'm adding the image, and that then renders as you see it here. To edit that information, if I go into edit category, and I can say category 2 text, add text, and maybe I'll change the image then from the beanie, and let's make it those three items together. We'll select that, update, and now when we go through to view the category, you'll see that that information has been added, but that nothing appears anywhere else. Right, so that's pretty much what we're going to have a look at setting up. And to make this work, I've used advanced custom fields for the custom fields and code snippets because we do need to add a little bit of code to the website. What I'm going to do then is head over here into Breakdance, and I'm going to remove those columns. So let's remove those columns, save, head back to the website, and you'll see now that we don't have any custom fields showing. And what I'm also going to do here in my snippets is I'm just going to disable the snippet that we were using, and we'll create a new snippet. So let's go ahead now and create that new snippet, and this will be display and it's an ACF category archive. So that will be the name of our snippet. Next thing we need to do is create a function. So we're going to create two functions. The first function we'll create will be to display the text. Display the text. And the second function that we will create will be the function by underscore display image, or let's say display the image. Right, so there we have the two functions set up. I'm just going to go ahead then, we can save those changes and activate. Nothing's going to happen as we haven't done anything yet. Right, so the first thing that we want to do is have a look at our custom field setup. So if I go over into custom fields, you'll see that I've created a field group called category fields, and using the free version of ACF. And if we then have a look at those fields, we have a text field and an image field. So the text field we've added as standard and made no adjustments or updates. And if we have a look at the category image, the additional image field, we are returning the image URL. So it's important then when you add the image field that we return the URL. Right, and that's all that we did on the advanced custom field. So nothing to edit there. The other thing that we need to look at then is just to output the information on the taxonomy field if the taxonomy is equal to category. So when you have a look at your selection of where to display the fields, head right down to the bottom, and where you see forms, select taxonomy is equal to, and then just select category. So this could also apply to a custom post type as well. Custom post type taxonomy, we could even apply that to a product taxonomy. But in this case, we're just going to select the taxonomy as normal. We'll save that. Right, so now when I go over to my category, and here's category 1, I edit the category, you'll see that we have the text fields. So I'm going to say additional cat1 text, and we have the image of the belt. So what we're going to do now is output that. So when we head over into Breakdance, and I'm here in the category page, I'm going to add a column so I can put the text on the left and the image to the right. And then I will go add basic and columns. I'm going to go for the 2-column layout. So here we would want to insert, let's say, a text element. And on the right-hand side, we want to add an image element. So if we were to approach this by trying to use the dynamic options within Breakdance, you'll see that you'll only know if there are options available when you hover over the element here on the left-hand side, and you'll see this little database icon. And when you click on that, or let's say dynamic data icon, you'll see that you have these options that are available to you. But under archive, there's no way here to insert a custom field under archive. And you'll notice then the same thing, that when it comes to the image, and once again, you'll only know that there is a dynamic component when you hover and you see that little icon, and you look here for custom field or dynamic insert. You'll see that you can for post, but under archive, there's nothing here for archive. So it's quite clear then that there's no pre-built option within Breakdance to make that happen. So what we're going to do then is just write our own little snippet. And what I'm going to do then is just enlarge the page a bit. So the first thing that we want to do is get the category ID. So cat underscore ID, and we'll just say get underscore queried underscore object. And that's going to return the category ID. And we're going to do that for both functions. So I'll just copy that and I'm going to paste that in here. So I'm going to do the text first then. Now I'm going to head over to my custom fields, and you'll see I'm in my field group here, and I have this add-on activated in Chrome, which allows me then to get the advanced custom fields code when I insert a field. So that's why when I hover over here, you'll see this copy code. And I'm just going to use then the copy code option here, head over to my snippet, make sure that I'm copying the text field, that's right, head over and paste that in. Next thing I'm going to do is just remove those PHP references. Right, so now we've removed those references, and you'll see that what will happen now is that we have the category text field is equal to get field, and it will then get the field. But we need to know where to get that field, and for that we're going to select this category ID. So now we know that it will get the correct field based on that is linked to a specific category ID, and then it echoes out the HTML, and in that case it would be the URL. So we have that information, and we'll save the changes, and now we're going to do something similar here to get the image. So back to advanced custom fields, category image, copy that custom field code, and we're going to paste that in. So once again, we're going to remove those PHP references. Right, so there we have our functions added, and I'm going to then just scroll down, and we're going to save the changes. So with those changes saved, they're still not going to be visible on the front end of the website. So that is something that we still need to set up. Now, there's no way in, and I'm just going to reset the screen size here. There's no way here to access those PHP elements. So if I go over to here, there's no add here for dynamic data or anything like that. So yeah, I can add a form, but that's not what I want. So in order to then access that dynamic information, what we're going to do is we're simply going to use a shortcode. And the reason we're going to go with using a shortcode here is it's just the easiest way to access that information then. So we'll add underscore shortcode. And now to add a shortcode, there are two components. So we have the shortcode name followed by the name of the function that we would like to reference to get the data. So in this case, we're going to be doing, that is the name of the function, and then for the shortcode name, to make it easy to reference, I'm just going to add the word content to the end. So when I use this shortcode, in my content, I know that that is the function name if I want to make some adjustments. And we're going to do the same here, add underscore shortcode. So let's do the same thing here. Right, so we get the name of our function. I'm going to pop that in there. And then here, once again, just underscore content. So you can create those shortcodes as you require. Right, so now we've created the shortcodes. Scroll down. I'm going to save those changes. And then we're going to use those shortcodes in our content. So back over to Breakdance, and now I'm going to delete that text element and add. So now we want to look for a shortcode. So we can add the shortcode. Right. To get the name of the shortcode, back to snippets, and I'm just going to copy that part of my shortcode, head over here, and then square bracket, close square bracket, and that will then pull through the text. Now for the image, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to delete the image that we have here, and I'm going to add a shortcode again. So shortcode, and I'm going to head back to Breakdance, copy, and what we're going to do first is just check that we're getting the URL. So we'll just paste in the shortcode, and then you'll see that the let's save that. And if we preview category 1 now on the website, you'll see that we get the additional cat1, but we're not getting the URL. And that's because we didn't put in the cat ID. So now that we've added that cat ID and we head over to the website, now you'll see that the URL is displayed. So there you can see how important it is then to include that cat ID. If I go back to Breakdance then, and let's save that, and I'm going to refresh. I just want to see that that information is pulling through here in my preview as well. And now you'll see we should have the URL coming through as well. Okay, so not really. We're just getting in this error, hide this. Okay, so right. Let's go to the background here, and we'll go to the color. And I'm going to add this blue background color. And the reason for that is I just want to have a look when we set the condition on when to display or not, by adding that background and then adding some spacing. And we'll apply that all around with our element in the middle. And I save that and I head over to the website now and I refresh. You will see that we have that blue background. And if I go to, say, category 2, right, that's correct. And if I go to category 3, you'll see we have this blue block, but obviously there's no content because we haven't added anything to those categories. So, right, back to here, we want to display the image, and the only way to get that done then is to make an adjustment here to our function. And now what I'm going to do is echo out, and what we're going to do is we're going to add the image source. So now we're going to go imgsrc equals, and then we're going to close that off. Right, so now what we've done is we're going to echo out the image, and I must just add an inverted comma there. Right, so with that done, we can save, and then I'm going to go back to the website, and we're going to refresh, and now instead of seeing the URL, we're actually seeing the image. So that's what I wanted to do in that case. I also want to add a bit of space below this element, so I'll go to columns, go to spacing, select container, and margin bottom 20 pixels, and save. So now on the website, you'll see we just have a little bit of space below this content and the posts. Now what we'll also see here is that when I go to category number 3, you're going to see that it's still showing that blue block, but there's no content. So I need to add a condition now to this element so that it doesn't show. And I'm going to link that condition to the text field. So I just want to check that there's content in the text field, and if there's content in the text field, then display the element. So nothing will happen if there's something in the image, only in the text. To make that happen, then I've selected the columns, and now I need to add a condition. So head over to the gear wheel, head over to conditions, and we'll edit the condition. And we're going to use custom PHP. I tried the dynamic data, but there's no way to pull in the function value. So what I thought I would do is just add the PHP code. So change it from dynamic data to PHP code. Then we can open the PHP editor, and you'll see here that there's an example of what to do. Now, I just want to check that the text field has a value. So I'm going to just copy, in fact, I'll just copy the get queried object. So now I'm going to get rid of the global post, and we're not accessing the global post. So once again, we're going to get the queried object ID, and then I'm going to just copy this get field portion here, and then I'll just say check text equals, and now we're going to we're just going to check that there is text in this custom field value. So the if statement now I'm going to change from if, and here we're just going to put in check text. So if there is a text value, return true, else return false. And with that done, we'll close that, we'll apply the condition, and we'll save. Now when we head over to the website and I'm here on category 3 and I refresh, there's an error, a syntax error in that condition. So back to the condition, edit conditions. Let's just have a look and see. I added a 1 there. Not sure how I did that. Okay, let's close that. Apply condition, save. And now when I refresh, you'll see that nothing appears on category 3, nothing on category 4. Let's go back to category 1. And yes, we have something on category 1. And category 2, yes, we have. And then we go to category 3. So if in category 3 now, I just add an image, and I'm not going to add the text field. So let's add an image. Let's just do that landscape, and we'll update. Then we're going to view the category. There's nothing to see, even though there is an image. I'm going to go back to category 3 then. I'm going to edit the category 3 and add some text. We'll update. And now when we go to view the category, there we go. There we have the category 3 text with that background and the image on the right hand side. So let's go back to category 2. Category 2 is working and category 1 is working. Well, right, so that's pretty much wraps up then how to add those custom fields to your archive page, and then to have them display based on a condition, and the condition linked to one of those custom fields. If we wanted to get more advanced, we could add a similar condition to make sure that there is either, so we can change, so it has to be and, so there's no or option here. If we add a condition again, we have the or. So I could quite easily, and maybe I'll just do that quickly, is I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to choose a condition. I'm going to go back to custom PHP, and I'm just going to paste that in. And this time what we want to do is check the image field. So let's go back here. I'm going to select the cat image field, just paste that in, and let's just change that to, we'll just say check image. Right, close, apply conditions. Let's save that. And it will be either of those two conditions. So now you'll remember that category 3, we added an image, but nothing was visible. Then we added the text and it was visible. So let's go to category 4 now. And in category 4, I'm just going to add an image. So edit category. Let's add an image. Let's do that. Looks like a sunset. Update. And now when we head over to the category, you will see that the category is showing even though there's no text available. And yeah, that's pretty much then one way that you can then add custom fields to your archive or category pages using Breakdance, and then adding a condition to only show if there is a value available. So if we go to category 5 then, that has some information. Category 6, there's nothing to see here. Right, well, I hope you found that useful. Thank you for watching.